class 11. Hello students, how are you? I think you are now studied well. Now today I am going to discuss about the second part of the Comedy of Errors, written by William Shakespeare, and which is actually storytized by Charles and Mary Lambs. Now I am now today start from the seventh paragraph, and last day I told you all about the story and the summary of the story. Now today I'm just try to discuss that. You just write down that word circus. It is the name of the city Ephesus. The characters Agon, the merchant of circus, merchant ব্যবসায়ী, Epidemon, the name of a city. Now এটা একটু দেখো, আমি এখানে একটা চার্ট করেছি, এগনস ওয়াইফ and এখানে poor woman. So there is a two twins, elder Antipulus, younger Antipulus. Last day I told you, আজকে একটু ছক কেটে দেখিয়ে দিয়েছি। আর সার্ভেন্ট সন্স, যেটা poor woman sons, that is elder Dromio and younger Dromio. So আমি যে দাগটা টেনেছি একটু ভালো করে লক্ষ্য করো, elder Antipulus with elder Dromio, younger Antipulus with younger Dromio. Menaphon is a great warriors. এই নামগুলো একটু মনে রাখবে। আদ্রিয়ানা, রিচ লেডি অফ অ্যাফেসাস, একজন ধনী ঘরের মেয়ে। ওয়াইফ, লেটার ইউ উইল সি দ্যাট ওয়াইফ অফ এল্ডার অ্যান্টিপোলাস। লুসিয়ানা, দ্য সিস্টার অফ আদ্রিয়ানা, অ্যান্ড কুকমেড, যে রান্নাকারী, তাকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি এল্ডার স্ট্রোমিও's ওয়াইফ। নাও হাউ দ্য এরার অ্যাকচুয়ালি গোয়িং অন। Last year I told you that sometimes the error make you comedy, gives you some comedy, make you some fun, but it's the reality of life. Now how it is going on, how Aegon described his past life, and he was actually detached from his wife and elder son and elder servant son. Somehow a little bit days he was with younger Dromio, younger Antipulus, but they were also detached. They were also separated from each other. And how it was happened. My younger son, upon being 18 years, that was the story was now telling by Aegon to Duke. Upon being 18 years, wanted to know about his mother's and brother. He often asked me for my permission to go to search for his elder brother along with Dromio, the younger slave, who had also lost his brother, and I desired to search for him. Initially, I was scared for the loss of the son, but after much hesitation, I gave consent, as I also wanted to see my wife and child. It has been 7 years, and my son has not returned. I have searched for my son throughout the world for 5 years. I have been to farthest Greece, and though the bounds of Asia, and while returning home now have landed here in search of him, because I didn't want to leave any place unsought on this earth. So this is the story of my life, and I would be happy to die if I had known that my wife and sons were living safe. So this seventh number of paragraph provides a very tragic part of the life of Aegon, that when his son turned to be 18, younger son, whose name is younger Antipulus, and also the slave sons, that younger Dromio, they asked several times about your mother, about his elder brother. So at the beginning, initially, Aegon hesitated to tell all about this, and finally he tried to shoot the child, try to minimize the case, that whatever they would search. But it was had 7 years, and nobody returned to home. In that circumstances, now the Aegon's actually searching all over the world, but all in vain. And that's why he had tried from all parts, from Greece to now this city, to Asia and others part of the country, but all in vain. So there is no questions at all to any kinds of question mark in his life to get dead. Only one thing he want to know before the death, that his wife and sons were living safe. So that was the 7th paragraph. এখানে একটা কোশ্চেন তোমাদের আসবে, খুব ভালো সেটা করতে পারো কি, যে when did the younger son of Aegon asked him about his family and what is the return he gave. Thus Aegon narrated the story of his life, stated be the reasons why he had landed off this country. So, my dear students, you just try to read like me. The Duke, on hearing the story, was moved. He pitied Aegon, who had brought about the peril to himself at the cost of his sons and wife. But it was not in his power to alter the law of the land. Otherwise, he would have to pardon him. So, instead of dooming him instantly, he gave him one day to try to pay the fine, either by begging or borrowing money from someone. So 8th paragraph provide you the compensate that a man always know the truth. The Duke realized the truth of the life of Aegon, but law is law. Law never be diverted according to the circumstances. So it was real story. It is a pathetic story, no doubt, according to the Duke, but the law is to be maintained. So there is no way to escape him from these kinds of punishments. So what happened? He can do one thing, that he can offer one day another to collect the fine from his any kind of relatives or friends, or otherwise begging. He have to alms here and there. The question arose here, what was the decision taken by Duke after hearing the story? Now, the day of grace was not a great favor of Aegon's, as he knew none of the officers who would help him to pay the fine. He would not hope to get any help from anyone, so he went with the jailer to spend the night in his custody. Aegon thought that he did not know anyone in Ephesus, but when he was in danger of losing his life for the search of his son and the one who has lost in his childhood, were both present in the city of Ephesus. So 9 and 10 paragraph will provide you that Aegon was really hopeless because the decision was not in favor to him. Aegon has no relatives, nothing was there, nobody to help him to pay the fine. So he went to the jail custody, and what happened? He passed the night. But one thing you remember, that when they were departed from each other, someone actually saved his son and the slave son, who were now still live in the city of Ephesus. So there is a real hope, maybe a little bit hope in his life. Maybe he would find them and collect the fine. Aegon's sons were not only similar in appearance, but were the named of alike. Both being called Antipholus similar, the twin slaves were also named Dromio. আমি দেখিয়েছি তোমাদের এখানে যে younger Antipholus elder Antipholus, younger Antipholus, elder Dromio, younger Dromio. এই কথাগুলো একটু মনে রাখবে, স্টোরিটা বুঝতে তোমাদের সুবিধা হবে। So Agon's younger son Antipholus of Circus, whom his father was searching, came to Ephesus that very same day. He was accompanied by the younger Dromio. He was also a merchant of Circus and was in the name a danger in his father. He would also have been arrested had he not met a friend who informed him of the peril of the old merchant of Circus was in, and advised him to pass himself off in a merchant of Epidemon. Antipholus younger agreed to do. When he heard of the fate of the merchant of Circus, he felt sorry for him. He could not imagine that it was his own father that he had heard of. So this paragraph will provide you the situation, what was going on in the city of Ephesus. That at the very beginning I told you the two sons, elder Antipholus and younger Antipholus, elder Dromio and younger Dromio. So here the elder Dromio and elder Antipholus, they were living. I will come to here. Here the story about the younger Dromio and the younger Antipholus. So younger Antipholus and younger Dromio also grooming around the Ephesus city in search of their mother and the elder brother. They heard the story about this old man, that how a merchant actually in the custody of the duke and unable to pay the money due to produce the original identity. So in that circumstances, Antipholus younger agreed to do so. What? He actually did not want to captured like the Agon. So what did he do? He actually aside himself, but very sorry about that old man who was actually captured by the Duke's army. It was unfortunate that he didn't know, he didn't imagine that that old man was actually his father. Now, this paragraph 11 paragraph will provide you the story that what happened, how was the mind of younger Antipholus when he heard the situations of Agon. The elder Antipholus have lived in Ephesus 20 years, and being a rich man, could have paid the fine for the father's life, but he knew nothing of his father's. He was very young when he was saved by the fisherman after the shipwreck. The fisherman who saved his mother and the two children took them away from the mother with the intention to sell them. Elder Antipholus and elder Dromio were sold to the Duke Manaphon, a famous warrior. He was the uncle of the Duke of Ephesus, and he took the boys of Ephesus went to visit the Duke, his nephew. So this is the dramatic twist, Now here is the story. This 12th paragraph will provide you that where is elder Antipholus. Elder Antipholus অবস্থানটা কি? Now elder Antipholus actually saved by the fisherman, in 20 years ago, and he is living here 20 years. How? He is a big merchant there. So he was a very rich family. And the fisherman actually sold them. How he was a big merchant? How he is now actually a well-known person in the city of Ephesus? He can pay the money, but it was unfortunate that he didn't know that the old man who was actually captured by the Duke and did fine, he was his father. That was unfortunate. That was the errors, Everything is happening in Ephesus, but all these are going to be unknowingly. Now that two children, younger Antipholus, younger Dromio, were sold with the mother of elder Antipholus. That means the wife of Agons. এগুলো একটু মনে রাখবে, এগুলো একটু marginally মনে রাখবে. That will help you to realize the story. Now, elder Antipholus and elder Dromio was actually sold to the Manaphon. And who is Manaphon? He was a famous warrior and he was really connected with the Duke family. Now, one day, that is the twist, the turn in the story. How? The Duke of Ephesus like elder Antipholus and made him to officer in army when he grew up, where he established himself as a brave warrior. He once served the Duke, and the Duke rewarded him to marrying him to Adriana, a rich lady of Ephesus. At the time that his father came there, elder Antipholus was living with Adriana. So till now, paragraph 14, you will get a very complete story now that Duke of Ephesus was actually attracted with elder Antipholus and his activity. So he made him the great warrior. তাকেও একটা বিরাট বড় যোদ্ধা তৈরি করলেন. Finally he saved the country from the fight, from the war. And he was the one who will get the prize. And what is the prize here? That he was married with Adriana, that is the great rich lady. And now what happened? When Agon was there, elder Antipholus actually living in this city with Mary of Adriana. Now, what is the fate? How the story is now going on? All the family is there, but nobody known to each other. And how they will come back. That was the errors of life. How everything is going to be in your surroundings, but sometimes we are unknown about it. That was the reality of the story. Antipholus of Circus, or Antipholus Younger, after the parted with his friend, want to move around the city and observed the manners of the peoples, and so he gave Dromio Younger some money to carry to the inn where he intended to dine. Dromio Younger was a pleasant fellow, and when Antipholus Younger was bored and sad, he used to make him happy by jesting with him. So Dromio was allowed a freedom of speech which was greater than was usual between master and their servants. The 15 and 16 paragraphs will provide you the lifestyle of younger Dromio and younger Antipholus. They were also departed on the time. Younger Antipholus given him some money and tried and ordered him to find some place where they can dine. They will take the dinner. They can stay. So Dromio Younger, actually a very pleasant, very clever boy, and he always making some fun in the time when younger Antipholus was in a sad mood. So normally younger Dromio had some freedom to do any kinds of words to express himself properly in front of him. So if there is a question, how younger Dromio and younger Antipholus was departed from each other. What did the younger Dromio do when younger Antipholus was in a sad mood? কোশ্চেনগুলো কিন্তু লিখে যাবে, and এগুলো করার চেষ্টা করবে. When Antipholus Younger had sent Dromio Younger away, he thought about his lonely search for his mother and his brother, of whom he didn't have any news, and he said sorrowfully, "I'm like a drop of water in this ocean, which, seeking to find its fellow drop, loses itself in the wide sea. So I, unhappily, to find a mother and a brother, do lost myself." 17 paragraph actually provide you the hopelessness. Now, the younger Dromio actually unable to find out the brother and mother. So he searched his level best. So finally, sorrowfully, he made the news that it was a drop of water in the biggest ocean to find the father and mother, brother and mother in this area. So it was really unfortunate. Now, the 18th paragraph will provide another, the story, another twist of the story. When was the thinking of his useless travels, elder Dromio came there. Antipholus younger mistook him for Dromio younger and wonders how he came to early. He asked him about his money. Elder Dromio also mistook Antipholus younger for his elder brother and, and said that he was sent by his mistress to fetch Antipholus for dinner. He also said that the food would be cold if he didn't go home. Antipholus younger thought that Dromio was jesting and he again asked about his money. Dromio once again talked of his mistress and that he wanted him to home for dinner. Antipholus asked, "What mistress?" Dromio replied, "Why your worship of sir?" To this answer, Antipholus younger, having no wife, go angry that he has said that something. He talked freely for Dromio, but he was at that time not in a mood to jest with him. He again asked him about the money and said that as they were strangers in the land, Dromio should not have trusted the money and any other's custody. Dromio, on hearing that they were a stranger in that land, thought that Antipholus was jesting with him and suggested that he could jest while having dinner. Now Antipholus younger lost all patience and beat elder Dromio. Dromio fled to his mistress and reported that his master would not come for dinner as he had no wife. So this 18th paragraph will provide you the original comedy of errors. What happened? Now after a long travel, now elder Dromio entered into the inn, hoping that the younger Dromio would come and give him some good news. But what happened? The elder Dromio entered there. Elder Dromio thought that younger Antipholus actually the elder Antipholus. ব্যাপারটা বুঝতে পারছো? ইনের মধ্যে যখন এলো, younger Antipholus actually thought it was the younger Dromio. Younger Dromio actually it was not younger Dromio, it was an elder Dromio. Elder Dromio actually came out from the house just to find his elder Antipholus. So repeatedly, elder Dromio requested younger Antipholus, we think that he was the elder Antipholus, to go and his wife actually waiting for dinner. Younger Antipholus was really surprised and thought it was just jesting, because normally younger Dromio makes some jest. It was not time for jesting and requested several times. Younger Antipholus tried his level best to make him understand that he has no wife, they are the stranger here, they have not at all any kind of engagement. But elder Dromio actually puzzled to make his master understand that his wife really waiting for the dinner and he will just with him there. Finally, when younger Antipholus, unable to make the elder Dromio understand the real thoughts, real circumstances, তখন কি করলো সে? What happened? He hitting him. Younger lost all patience and beat elder Dromio. So elder Dromio escaped away from that place and informed his wife what? That the master is not ready for dinner. He announced that he had no wife. So this is very unfortunate questions to hear. After hearing that, now the comedy of errors actually started from there. So thank you, my dear students. Now this is the second part. Third, fourth and fifth part will be one after another. Please study it, write the summary and write the questions also. And the 18th paragraph give you the lot of questions. এই প্যারাগ্রাফ থেকে কয়েকটা কোশ্চেন্স কিন্তু তোমাদেরকে করতে হবে, 4-5টা কোশ্চেন্স তোমরা করবে and send it to my WhatsApp number. Thank you for watching and wait for the next.